Trade School Association of Ontario. Welcome to day 2.
I'm good, thanks. Good morning, everybody. Appreciate again the kind words and the partnership, and it goes two ways, certainly, to be able to help improve and work on the industry in Ontario. It was interesting, I was kind of looking at some documents from 10 years ago, 10, 11 years ago. I was just telling him that as a mandate, the Ontario Ministry of Labour and the WSIB back in 2010, we were reporting into WSIB at the time, had put out the call for focus in certain areas where there was greatest risk, and MVI.
I think I've seen most of you over yesterday and today, so thank you TTSAO for having IHSA as a sponsor, but also a chance to give you an update on some of the key initiatives that we're working on with the intent to reduce and prevent fatalities and worker injuries in the transportation sector. We've been focusing a lot of efforts on the top risks. So what I'm just going to quickly go through is a spotlight of some of the key things and some resources that are available to employers and to drivers.
Hello everybody, my name is John G. Smith. I'm the editorial director of Newcom Media's Trucking and Supply Chain magazine, and I'll be serving as a bit of an MC today. One of the great things.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Kim, for having Serco here today. It's been sort of a long journey for us. We've been running the drive test contract for almost 17 years now. So Serco took over the contract for the Ministry of Transportation to do all of the knowledge and road testing across the province. And
so we've got 3 wonderful ladies joining me this morning. I'm going to call up Shelley Juvenile-Hesh. And Shelley is the CEO of the Women's Trucking Federation of Canada. She's been involved in the transportation industry of 30 years, familiar face around here. And she wants us to share the tagline for the WTFC, which is, in the office, under the hood, or behind the wheel, we're all pieces of the puzzle. I think that's great. Helen Thorpe. Come on up, Helen. Helen came to transportation as a second career with the intent of developing her skills both on and off the road. She's driven a variety of equipment for regional, long haul, and city fleets, and she was an on-the-road trainer before transitioning to dispatch and eventually safety and compliance. I'm going to call up Lynn Northcott. And Lynn has a ton of experience. She's currently a driver trainer for Zavcor Training Academy. And Lynn has held her driver's license since the age of 20 and has never had an accident or ticket. In her free time, she enjoys working on her flowers, garden, and maintaining her pond.
I can tell you that most of the ladies that approach us do not care what the sex is of the trainer in the truck, what the sex is of the trainer at the school.
Women tend to be a little bit of mother hens. We're wired a little bit differently, and we want that success for anybody that we've been involved with, whether it's on-the-road training, in classroom training.
Students like Shelley, you become a mother to them. You bond to these children, and you offer them your knowledge, your skills, everything you know. About the road, safety, everything. So you may get one student that doesn't want me as an instructor, say, and that's okay, but I got 3 more that do.
Right.
My background, I've had the privilege of working with immigration and HRSDC in finding and qualified workers from a number of destinations across the country, across the world, and bringing them to Canada as qualified workers. The last count, I think it was around 2,000 workers, and I've had the pleasure of working with many ministers in basically putting together requirements, working with industry and employers, and finally making sure that the immigrants that are coming are best suited for their lives in Canada.
All right, I'm here with Jack at Alpine. Is Alpine truck driver training? Is that
correct?
Yeah,
Correct,
yeah. And you're located where?
Scarborough, 595 Middlefield Road, unit number 10.
Now you've been a truck driver. You own the school and you do the truck. How long have you been involved with TTSAO?
I've been involved with TTSAO almost 10 years now.
Okay. And how many conferences have you been to?
All of them.
All of them. So I think we're at 5, right? So there's been 5. So what did you find some good value? What did you think of the conference so far?
Excellent. Very good.
You still got an afternoon session to go?
And we're getting better, and every time we're getting better and better.
Yeah.
At this point in the morning, I have the opportunity to explore the idea of technology from a training perspective. We've seen a lot of advancements in terms of the tools that are available and exactly different ways that we can augment that training experience. And for that, we have a great panel today.
So you take the objectivity out of an instructor's evaluation or assessment, whichever one they're doing, and they're all working against a common criteria, and all the students, employees, whatever it should be, are being exposed to the exact same training experience. They're
creating the communication as a big piece of it, and at the end of the day, your compliance is built. You've done utility, you've done your due diligence, it's all on file, because it's all recorded.
It was one of the full motion simulators. Most recently, in the last 2 weeks, we just purchased an L3 simulator, a little smaller than the one we have right now. And so we're just working out how we're going to incorporate that both into the school and into the driving courses.
Every year, first time I'm moderating. This is the third year I'm attending this conference, and year after year it's getting bigger and bigger with much more audience in it. So I would like to introduce the panel first, if they can come forward and grab the seats, and I'll introduce each individual.
For across Canada, it's not just unique to drivers though. Like I think everybody's experiencing it. And for any organization that doesn't have their eye on that challenge that's coming up, is going to go into a real crisis.
To get in that vehicle. So typically we move into a relief driver situation, and then we would encourage them, if they're really good, to get their own vehicle.
We should have more people wanting the positions than I have positions for, but I can certainly speak to it from a manufacturer or a dealership perspective. And I think the biggest challenge we have is getting the right people into the right positions. And
recognize this year's 2020 TTSAO Industry Appreciation Award to our Insurance Group Chairperson and current TTSAO Board Director, Lisa Harson.
All right, so I'm here with Helen Thorpe. Helen was one of the panelists. Was it your first time at a TTSAO conference?
It was my first time at TTSAO. Yeah.
And what do you think of the conference?
Learning experience for me too. I've been part of the industry that doesn't hire brand new drivers out of school, so it's upgrading, learning some of the stuff that's out there, and a lot of networking.
Trafficking. And so, without any further ado, I would like to award this year's TTSAO Pay Bride Instructor of the Year Award to
$96 million verdicts are really, Lisa mentioned, scary for a lot of customers. And, I think that we can probably anticipate them to continue to increase in frequency. I don't think that the U.S. is becoming any less litigious than it is today.
So think about it. Are you producing graduates that you love to hire? So it wouldn't be a Scotty Ray presentation without the purple cow. Mandatory. And the why is our foundation, it's the values. Your company values, you don't change them every day, do you? There would be very good values if they did. From a marketing standpoint, this is our value.
So we're going to talk about standing out from the crowd. We got to focus on our foundation, which is the Purple Cow. So.
All right, I'm here with Kelly Perez, and you're from Zavcor. Is it Zavcor Training Academy? I know.
Yep, that's correct. Zavcor Training Academy.
And so you were talking about the Young Leaders Group and some of your success. What do you think of the conference? You've been to here before.
This is a really good conference. Yep, really enjoy it.
How many conferences have you been to?
Maybe like 10.
Wow. Not at this, because we only had 5.
Yeah, no, that's correct, right? But, PMTC's conference in the falls and stuff, and there's a few other ones, yep.
Do you always feel that you get good information out of coming to these conferences?
I feel I do, yep.
I know that a lot.
What are 3 reasons why a student should join your school?
Number 1, we're friendly. Number 2, I don't care what it takes for me to get that guy a professional driver. Hours, I don't care about hours. I will train him until he passes.
Okay, training until you pass your test. We can work with something like
Now
that.
when he passes his test, now I know he become a professional driver because I know what I did with him.
Okay. So we're tough to fit that on the billboard. That's pretty long, but so I guess the point is, Matt, say yours again.
Family-oriented, flexibility, range of work.
All right, schools in the room.
Very much for coming out. Without you being in here and filling the seats for us, this conference wouldn't be the success that it always is. Once again, I'd like to thank very much the conference committee for doing such a great job and putting on a great show. I hope you all got a lot of information from the different speakers we've had. They were all fabulous.
So for myself, I just want to thank all the sponsors, all the speakers, our panelists, and our delegates. But I especially thank our committee, our conference committee. If it wasn't for them, as Ken said, this couldn't happen. A lot of hard work goes into this conference. Our next one will start probably about 3 or 4 weeks. We'll start planning for next year's conference. So please save the dates for February 24th and 25th of next year.
All right, so I'm here with Doug from KRTS. How we doing?
I'm doing very well. Yourself?
Good. So you were telling me that you've been to about 3 of these conferences. What do you take back to the classroom when you go back?
It's the attitude. I find the attitude in the industry, what people are looking at, what they want to change. It's always the same.
Yeah.
Like it's always been that same kind of attitude, but now you're getting more women in there. You're seeing a different attitude with them as well as younger people coming in this industry. It's nice to see the younger leadership coming in.
Are you seeing changes?